Deke, how you feel about the NFL changing the time for the Steelers and Ravens game?
Dun.
We said we were going to talk about this. If there's ever a thing I ever called, there was ever a thing I called, I called this.
Did you call it or did you call it?
I told Sunday Night Football, keep that same energy.
Get him.
And they didn't. I did not want to play a Sunday Night Football game the rest of the season.
Up, Deke?
I said the Steelers were going to go on a run.
Talk to him, Deke.
And they were going to be an interesting team that you're going to want to be putting on primetime as the season goes on.
Talk about
Don't
it.
flex us out of this Bengals game.
He said don't
do not do it.
Do it. He said don't do it.
It was an interesting game in and of its own right because we had Pickett, a first-round pick, going up against the guy he was compared to coming out of the draft, Joe Burrow. Division rivalry. We took care of the Bengals week 1. It was, I would say, a fork-in-the-road type of game for both teams because we needed to win to keep our playoff chances alive. Even though we did lose, our playoff chances were still alive. It's just the margin for error was small.
I would agree.
And then for the Bengals, it's like, okay, are you for real or are you not? Because they were looking a little shaky at times throughout the season. And that win catapulted them to where they're at right now.
Yep.
That was an interesting game. But no, they decided to flex us out of it, put in Mahomes and Herbert. The matchup we've seen how many times over these last 3 years? Both good quarterbacks.
Talk about it.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
And then the worst part about it, too, is the Sunday Night Football games they have left on since then. Some of them have been god-awful. Do you have the schedule up? I don't even have the schedule.
Terrible. Terrible.
I don't have the schedule up, but I'm going to look at it. I remember there's been at least 2 or 3 games that I'm like, that's 50 times worse than Steelers-Bengals, and you didn't flex it.
That's the game you want up there? You want that game up there?
One of them was the Cowboys.
And you know that won't. It's crazy.
They're facing some god-awful team. I can't remember. It might have been the Colts. It was the Colts. It was the Colts game. They didn't want to flex that one. Didn't flex that.
Yeah.
Okay, so since the Steelers
talk about it,
Bengals game that they flexed out.
Talk about it.
Patriots Vikings. Was that a Thanksgiving one or something?
What was the date?
Yeah, that was Thanksgiving. Okay.
All right.
Packers Eagles. That was a good game.
Okay.
Colts Cowboys. Terrible. Should have flexed. Dolphins Chargers. All right, that's fine. Giants Commanders. Actually, you know what? Based off the records, I guess you keep that.
All right.
Bucks Cardinals. No, that was Christmas. I guess you have to leave it because of logistics.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like you can't you'd have to like literally switch days. You know what I mean? You'd have to take a Saturday game
and put it on Sunday. Yeah.
So I understand that.
Well, because even with were all 3 of those games all 3 weren't on the same network either. Yeah, you had CBS, Fox, and NBC yesterday. Because I was like, you could have switched maybe the 1:00 game to that, but nah.
Colts Cowboys. There you go.
That was the one.
There you go. I mean,
that was the one.
Steelers Bengals, man, that was one to keep on there. And I mean, it finished 37-30. It would have been a good game to keep on Sunday Night Football. We've definitely seen worse out there. But now all of a sudden, Steelers go on a little bit of this winning streak right now.
Now they remember our number.
They're looking good. Kenny has the game-winning drive. Oh, this is a trendy young team, man. They got Pickens. Now we want to throw them on Sunday Night Football? No, you had your chance and you took us off. It's not even that you missed it. We were there, and then you took us off. So I don't want to be on Sunday Night Football. It's unfortunate, though, because they flexed us into it. So I'm going to watch it.
Deke, this the thing, though. They said, hey, big head, you up? They said,
Listen,
I know.
If I was Rooney, I'd say no.
They said,
leave us in the 1 o'clock slot.
They said, I know we had our times, and I know I left you at that bar. The last time, we were supposed to meet up. I know I left you there. But, hey, you looking nice all of a sudden, You been working out? I see that new gym membership. You got a new diet going on here, huh? Okay. You trying to go to dinner? And yeah. They taking you back to dinner, Deke. Let them take you back to dinner. They try and win you back. Let them earn you back, Deke. They try and earn your love back, Deke. They hit you with the hey, big head. So we just going to see what's up. We're gonna allow them to set the tone, all right? But this is them trying to get back in the good grace with Steeler Nation. They flex you back, and then we'll see how much, and then we'll see if they really love us. We'll see if we really want to rock with them when the new schedule comes out. And if we're not scheduled for at least 4 of them things, then we know we tripping still. But in all seriousness, though, for me, man, I looked at it like this. When they did flex us out, yeah, it sucked. It was embarrassing. And yeah, we could definitely make a case that it was a little overreactive on top of that. Like, man,
it was an interesting game.
It definitely was.
I really thought it was.
So, like I said, that part, yeah, it definitely sucks. But I look at it more so from the team's perspective, and this is why it's a positive for the guys. Number one, it shows them the simple context of this league. When you play bad and you're not the hot ticket in town, they will take you off of them big games. They will take you off of prime time. They'll take you off of having that feeling where you walking in and you know we the only game on today. We the only game on right now. But at the same time, you can also get rewarded. When you start kicking butt, when you start winning, it is contagious. That is something that I learned when I got to Pittsburgh. It's like, man, you win, you want to keep winning. You want to keep stocking them things. But you also want to feel the reward of that. And what are the rewards from winning games? Well, you win division championships, you start making wins in the playoffs and stuff like that. But also, you start seeing that each of your games become bigger and bigger. You get a lot more 425s, a lot more 815s, 820s, a lot more holiday games and stuff like that. And it just has a big game feel to that. And I think that this unit has earned the right to beat back on prime time. I know as fans, we look at it one way, but as players, we say you got to earn the right to be on prime time. You got to earn the right to be the hot ticket in town. And I remember in Buffalo, man, my 4 years there, we would complain because we were only getting the mandatory Thursday night primetime game. And it was always going to be us versus Cleveland, or it was going to be us versus Miami. And at the time, well, none of us good. And we knew, it was like, bro, ain't nobody waiting to watch this game. That's why they put us versus them each and every time.
Was there a Jets game in there?
No, we ain't even, no, because the Jets were still kind of good back then. That's when they still had Sanchez and LaDainian and all that. But yeah, we was going to get Cleveland, or we was going to get Miami. It was going to be one or the other, all right? And I believe it was Cleveland like 3 times, Miami 1 time. Yeah. And yeah, Miami was like, when we finally felt like we was actually kind of good, it was like, oh, we get to actually host? What? Yeah, bro, it was like that. Craziness. But then I got to Pittsburgh, and I remember 14. It was like, yo, we scheduled for how many of these prime times? And y'all flexing us in? And then we won. Then I remember in 15, 5 prime time games scheduled, plus flexing, and then you go to playoffs. 16, 17. It was just like, man, it became... We switched our schedule in terms of our work schedule for practices because we needed to reflect getting used to playing in primetime games. So instead of us practicing in the morning or like normal times, it was like, no, we're going to practice super late in the afternoon or have our morning meetings pushed back, so to speak, to just account for that feeling. Because we had to get used to it because most of our games were going to be like that. But we learned that you had to earn that, man. And when you did, it had you operate with a certain level of urgency in your preparation because you do not want to get embarrassed on prime time. You can have a bad play, Deke, on a 1 o'clock game. Man, your boy's going to see it. Your mommy, your daddy, your close friends, right? Because they the only ones going to be watching specifically your game at 1 o'clock on Sunday when it's all these other games going on. So you can get away with some stuff, man. You can have some bad plays out there. Nobody really gonna see it. When it's prime time, Deke, they see everything. Everything. Like, it could be something that you was like, yo, it ain't look that bad. But because that camera angle is prime time and everybody can see it and everybody got an opinion, oh, they gonna kill you for it, Deke. You also think about that. So when you're preparing, you're like, bro, I'm going to make sure that I have my A game when I come out here. And that's the other thing. And I feel like for this group, once again, this young group, them understanding and learning that feeling, how to prepare with a sense of urgency, how to handle that anxiety and that excitement that comes with playing in prime time, what comes with playing in big games, what comes with playing meaningful football in December. Think about that, man. Once again, we still having these type of conversations. These are all the things that this team is getting a chance to experience. So that is the other side of why I actually do like the fact that, you know, they got it right this time and flexed us back in. But yeah, I definitely could feel you on the front end because it's like, yo, y'all left us when we was, you know what I'm saying, we were building this thing
Sunday
up.
Night Football is my favorite time slot too.
Yeah, it's dope, bro.
That's right. I'm not against Steelers being in primetime. I'm against how this all took place. It's actually disgusting. There's a reason we call it the fake medium. Not only are a lot of these dudes takes terrible, but they ain't keeping that same energy.
Yep.
They faking. They switching up on us.
They're switching up sides, man.
Seriously, there was no reason to flex that Steelers-Bengals game.
Yeah,
There's no reason.
They panicked,
it was an interesting game.
They panicked.
It was an interesting game. They don't watch football, so they didn't know what we were building here.
They panicked. At times, the network would panic, man. At times, the network would definitely panic.